but yeah, he was not.
So Makai Lemon's role, what do you think that's going to be?
Wide receiver 2, man, needs to have a good year. Needs to get open. Needs to catch the football. Needs to run with the ball after the catch. He's gonna be a big part of this offense. I think. I do not. John told me, wait and see. He might not start the year at wide receiver 2.
I agree with that.
Nah, I'm saying bullshit.
So you're giving a guy who's never played in the NFL a starting job without having earned it with veteran guys on your team?
Well, you think the veteran guys are better than him? I mean,
no.
if he looks like a stiff,
I think knowledge supersedes talent. You got to know where to line up.
Knowledge doesn't supersede talent. If that were the case, Sean Mannion would be a starting quarterback.
Well, I'll tell you what, Tom Brady has more knowledge than what Aaron Rodgers does.
Okay, that's an extreme circumstance, though. Oh. Wait. Is Mitch Trubisky have more knowledge than Josh Allen? I don't give a fuck if he's Albert Einstein. He's not starting.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't have more knowledge.
I'm just saying
what Josh Allen and how Josh Allen plays.
Knowledge is not.
Bro, you got to know where the fuck the
Sileo. Knowledge is not more important.
If
than
you don't know, why do you think Vic takes certain players like N'Kobe over Jahad Campbell?
To say that knowledge isn't important.
Is the best example of it.
Oh, come on.
Jahad Campbell has more ability in his body than what N'Kobe does, but N'Kobe has more knowledge of the position.
Sure, it matters.
Is that not true?
It 100% matters. I'm not saying it doesn't matter. But Sileo, when we roll out the NFL draft every year, I don't see the first metric being,
we're talking about a rookie and a veteran. We're not talking about 2 veteran guys.
I just don't think knowledge is more important than talent.
Wait a minute.
It's not talented. It is what it is.
My point is, when you've got a veteran guy and a rookie guy, where is his knowledge of the game?
Well, when Devontae Smith was here, why was he the wide receiver 1 right away?
Because that guy, when he came out of college, was fucking polished beyond anything.
So you don't think Makai Lemon's polished?
That wide receiver room in Alabama, look at the wide receivers that have been produced out of Alabama that have gone on to start their first seasons.
Well, I think Makai's more polished than you. That's where we differ.
So you think he's more skilled than you think he's skilled like Devontae?
Well, I'm not saying like that, but I think his skill is good enough for him to be out there.
Okay, so you're going to start him.
I'm starting him. Yeah, we spent a first-round pick on him. We traded up to get him. Okay. We got rid of A.J. Brown. Let's go. Makai Lemon, there's the fire pit. I'm throwing you into the deep end of the pool or the fire pit. Let's fucking go, baby. All right?
Okay. All right.
I mean, Sileo's trying to vouch for Dontavian Wicks to be out there.
I'm not. Well, if he knows how to. So do you think Dontavian Wicks has a better grasp of what Sean Mannion wants to do or Makai Lemon?
This is John's take, so it's not a crazy take. Yeah, John thinks Wicks will be out there because he knows the offense.
Okay, so here's your additions.
I like when I disagree with both John and Sills.
Dontavian Wicks, Hollywood Brown, Jonathan Grenard, Reek Woolen, Eli Stowers, and Makai Lemon. Those are your additions. Here's A.J. Brown. What impact do you think he has on your football team not being in the lineup? Big? Not a lot. Minimal.
A.J.?
Yeah.
Well, he was about a middle-of-the-pack receiver last year. I think it's a medium impact.
So it's minimal. So you think A.J.
Whoa. I didn't say minimal.
I thought you said minimum.
I said medium. Medium. They're not a passing team. If it was 22 Eagles, 23 Eagles, I'd say fucking massive.
So, in your opinion, AJ's loss to the offense is going to be not felt that much.
No, it'll be felt. I mean, it'll be felt because defenses double-teamed him a lot. Now there's going to be more focus on Devontae. There's going to be more focus on spreading the football around because of the way the defense is going to play you differently now. So I think I'm not going to delegitimize. I mean, look, A.J. Brown's a great freaking football player, obviously, and he made a big difference for this team. But I just mean the last couple of years, I don't really think we used A.J. to the caliber of A.J. You know what I mean? So it's like it's not as big of a loss,
So if AJ's not in there, how much more pressure, in your opinion, is now on Hurts?
I think there's a lot of pressure on Hurts this year. There should be. I think there's a lot of pressure on everybody on the offensive side of the ball, from the top of the organization down. In fact, I think there's pressure on Howie Roseman on the offensive side of the football. If Landon Dickerson has a shit year, if Cam Jurgens has a shit year, if Mekhi Lemon's not the player we thought he was, if Devontae Smith can't handle wide receiver one, if Jalen Hurts struggles in the new offense, Nick Sirianni, Sean Mannion, Jalen, Howie, there's pressure on when you have an offense that's the highest paid offense in the history of football. I don't care what John says about the talent. When you have an offense that's the highest paid in the history of pro football, you have expectations from the owner. That's everybody. So I think there's pressure on them all.
Have you heard Steve Smith Sr.'s take on all this with AJ?
No. What was it?
I'm gonna paraphrase it for you.
Okay.
He goes, to think that there's not going to be a loss with AJ Brown not being on that offense is insane. Yeah, however, right. and he also says, I got it on my X account if you want to see it too. He also says this: here's been the Eagle offense the last 5 years. It's been great at times. It's been terrible at times. It's been okay at times. The problem that you have with that is when you're paying $200 million and you're getting those swings like that and you're not getting the consistent play, that's the problem that the Eagles are in right now with that, because you're paying all that money and you're not getting consistent football. So that's why they're now like making all these schematic changes and bringing personnel in, adding new coaches. And so that guy made a complete impact when you brought him in here. He changed the whole entire passing game when A.J. Brown came in here. He affected Jalen Hurts' ability to be able to spread the ball around as well. Okay, so I do think it's going to be a large loss. What about Reed Blankenship? What do you think his loss is going to be felt like back there in the secondary?
My bad. I think it's a loss, but I think I do feel good about them having the guys in the room to absorb some of that loss, especially in terms of the leadership and stuff. Like Cooper and Quinion are going into year 3 now. Like I feel like they can take on some of that leadership, some of that vocal guys in the secondary to speak up a little bit. I think Bond has found his role even more as a leader going into year 3 here in Philadelphia. Jordan Davis, obviously, with the big contract. Like I feel good about the leadership part. Obviously, I think they got a little bit worse at safety because they're rolling out Marcus Epps. I don't think he's as good of a player as Reed Blankenship. But, I think the other thing that helps make up for that is you're more talented at corner, I think, with Tariq Woolen. So I think you got 3 strong corners. I think Epps is a solid player. I like Makuba, who showed some signs. In the second half of his year, he's got to take another step forward. But it'll be there, but I think they'll be all right.
Loss of the Kobe Dean. By the way, all the 4 guys I'm mentioning were all starters a year ago, too, by the way. 3 on D, 1 on O. What about the Dean loss? What do you make of the Dean loss? What would be the significant loss of Dean being in the lineup?
Well, I think we talked about it earlier in this segment. The run defense is number 1 to me. I mean, he was, leadership, okay. Football IQ, okay. Agreed, all things. That run defense really got better when he came into play. He could blitz, and he could stuff the run really well, So can you make up for that? Does Jihad Campbell have that skill set? He didn't really have it last year, so he's got to make that development. But I think they got the guys to absorb it. I mean, the other thing is I'm pretty high on Jeremiah Trotter Jr. I mean, I've heard John talk about him a little bit. I liked what he did very early in the year last year. If you remember, before it went to Campbell, he was doing a lot of preseason. I think he did a couple reps in the regular season too. I think he's going to be a good player, so I think you have a little bit more depth at the spot this year, and or at least equal depth or around the same depth.
I agree.
And Jihad Campbell's got to take a step forward.
What you're going to miss with Dean. So let me give you a little context here. So when you're playing defensive tackle, you know what an experienced linebacker will do? He'll go like this. He'll come up, he'll slap you on the hip. You're not wide enough in the 3. You got to get wider in the 3. And this is pre-snap. Or he'll do this. Make sure that guy doesn't get on scoop and slip on me here. What he likes to do is take that flat step. So make sure, snap the huddle. You get to the line of scrimmage. You miss those little coachable things that a guy who plays the Mike linebacker does for experience back there. And will Campbell have that? Will he be able to see the game like Dean has seen the game? Those experience moments that you have with a guy, those little things like wider in the three, okay? Don't let him slip and scoop up on me over here. Hey, make sure we're holding down the edge because the edge is getting washed down into the middle of the field, and they're stopping scrape angles and pursuit angles. Snap the ball. All those little tiny things that people don't hear, Zander, that they're saying out there on the field, all that stuff is communication. How much of that do you think you miss with Reed Blankenship in the secondary with the communication going back and forth and connecting everything? Because Vic has made that very clear over the years that Blankenship was the connector to all of that between the success back there in that secondary. You think you have that kind of experience back there that you're going to be able to have that and connect, especially with a new player coming in from another organization and another scheme?
They got to do it. They got to step up. You know, it's Quinion and Coop.
Okay.
It's
football players, right?
Right. I mean, they got to step up. I'm not saying you're wrong about the loss, but I just think, you know, if the guys aren't ready to step up in that role, I think they're going to have bigger problems. So I think they'll be good. But, you know, the other thing that when you were saying, I was thinking about, how much does a loss in Kobe Dean you think affect maybe like a guy like Jordan Davis?
Oh, a lot.
I mean, he's played behind him since college.
Well, I mean a lot by this. Like, that's a calming voice. It's a familiar voice. You know the nuance. Well, dude, Kobe Dean and Jordan Davis have played 8 years of football together. Think about that.
Yeah, it's a lot.
4 years or 3 years in college or 4 years, whatever it is now with the Eagles. I mean, you've been together almost a decade playing football. And if I'm not mistaken, too, I mean, I think that's one of the advantages that you're going to miss. Kobe played with Carter, too, right, at Georgia?
Yeah.
Well, dude, those guys all know one another. They were the triangle at Georgia. So, I mean, yeah, I think you missed that a little bit. A calming voice in the building. Now, I'll do Jalen Phillips here. What do you think the loss of Jalen Phillips will be? You think it was equalized by Gennard's addition?
Yeah, I do. I know it seems that you see it a little differently. That's how I see it.
No. I don't. I think it's. Gennard's a good player, dude. I don't want to get that.
I think also. I mean, is it fair to count on some ascension from Nolan and Jalix?
Jalix, yes. Nolan, how do you get better when you're always like every other game kind of hurt? And if Zander, remember when Jalen said this? Constant coordinator changes it makes it hard on growth. Well, don't you think missing games makes it hard on growth too for a player to develop if you're missing games?
It does. It does. I mean, I still think he can play good when he's out there. So, but you're right.
I don't think he's a shitty player.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Okay, so let's do this here little exercise. Do you think your additions outweigh your losses?
I think it's about equal. I don't think it's overwhelming in one way or the other. I think the biggest loss is obviously A.J. Brown, but no, I think it's about equal. Maybe lost a little bit more.
A little bit more.
Little bit more.
Because they were common starters.
I do feel good about the defense, though. Like,
I didn't say that they're not going to be good.
The Woolen thing I feel good about. I feel strong about Campbell stepping up. I like the Grenard trade. Like, I feel pretty good about the defense.
Okay.
Look, the offense, though. Yeah, you're replacing A.J. Brown, who is an all-pro player, with a rookie wideout. Yeah, I mean, that's a loss. That's a loss. Everything else, though, I feel pretty strong about.
I'm not going to fight you on that, too, when it comes to the defense, because I think, you know what? Who said that earlier about Vic now knows the guys? Zander, how fucking amazing was that first year with him being a coordinator in 24, not knowing really the nuance of the players? And they still were the top defense in the league. It's wild. Like, great coordinator. Buddy Ryan, get this. Buddy Ryan when he had that top-ranked defense at 85 Bears, bro, he had Steve McMichaels. He had Richard Dent. He had Singletary for 5-6 years. He knew all those guys. Those guys weren't moving because of the lack of free agency. Vic doesn't. Vic, I heard him a year ago. Who the fuck is Adoree Jackson? Yeah, I heard about him. He's in here now? Okay, good. And there's Vic plugging him in, making it work. And you're like, holy shit. I heard about the player. I kind of don't really know who he is. Bro, he is your secret weapon.
Well, I agree. But offense going to have to be better this year. Still, no matter how good Vic is.
Zander,
that's how I feel about it.
Zander, next year, are you going to need a new offensive coordinator?
I hope not.
Okay.
I think if we do, it'll be because he gets hired, not because he gets fired.
Okay. So the answer
I
is
think
yes.
it's hired or he's back.
Okay.
Like we all learn lessons in life, right? When you make bad decisions or you do something wrong. Yeah, hopefully everybody. I mean, I try and learn lessons. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I hope the Eagles have learned their lesson of sometimes jumping off the ship is not really the right recipe either. The problem with me saying that is, though, look at what happened. When they fired Brian Johnson after 1 year, what happened? They went to the fucking bowl.
Yep.
So I just hope that, look, they got to give this guy some time. And also, listen to the quarterback, who's like, dude, yeah, it's pretty hard to reach my potential